Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jason Ashlong, and I'm from the University of Albany. First, before I start, I do want to say thank you to everybody at Viceroy, because so this year has been it's been like thrilling. I've been involved in a lot of things that I definitely wouldn't have if I wasn't a part of Viceroy. For example, I went to I competed in 2 other cyber competitions this year, and it was really beneficial for me, at least, because I've never done anything like that before, ever. So yeah, enough of that. Now let me get into my project. So, safeguarding military drones against cyber attacks. I did this research this year with my partner Arun Venikiran and also Dr. Benjamin Yankson, our faculty mentor, who are both out of University of Albany as well. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today, so I'll be doing the solo, but hopefully I can pick it up a little bit. So, introduction. The research problem is that, so initially our project was safeguarding IoT devices against cyber attacks, and we decided to focus on on drones because of their prevalence during that time in the news. And so IoT devices are they're Internet of Battlefield Things. Internet of Battlefield Things is basically Internet of Things on the battlefield. So when you think of Internet of Things, you think of things like your Ring camera doorbell, your smart fridge, or like your smart thermometer that controls the Wi-Fi or that controls your temperature with your phone. But then when you go on the battlefield, these things can range from drones to sensors to wearables that are all connected to a network that communicate data with each other. And the problem is that oftentimes IoT devices or even IoT devices aren't built with cybersecurity at the forefront. They're built with functionality, really. They're made for a purpose, and that's to complete whatever mission they got to do. So the aim of our project, we decided to pick DJI. We had the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and we wanted to assess the cybersecurity posture of that small commercial drone, and then tie that to how there can be similarities with military drones. I do want to note before I talk more, DJI is banned by the DoD, so our military doesn't use DJI drones for anything. But they do own 75% of the commercial market share, around 75% of the commercial market share. So they're a pretty prevalent company. And the reason why it matters is because if drones are compromised, it could lead to a bunch of things, but the main things being mission failure. It could lead to losses of life or even endanger national security, which we don't want to do. Now we'll get into our literature review. So current literature right now, it shows us that IoT devices improve battlefield awareness, decision-making, coordination. But with all these good things, there's some negatives as well. There's some cybersecurity risks. Some of these risks include GPS spoofing, jamming, man-in-the-middle attacks, and firmware tampering. And when we started doing our research, this was towards the end of last year. And in the news, it was really prevalent, the Russian and Ukraine war. And as you guys probably know, that drones are still really at the forefront of that of that war. Ukraine and Russia, oftentimes when you hear them, you'll hear about drones being hacked or things of that nature. So we thought we could do something with drones. And also, I think it's kind of fitting that my friends from Ohio State went before me, because some of the solutions that are being explored for this are AI anomaly threat detections, as well as blockchain security. Blockchain to uphold integrity on logs, just to make sure that things aren't altered. Zero trust to ensure that devices are who they say they are, and quantum encryption for encryption. But with this, there's also some gaps in like policy and ethics, because when autonomous drones make decisions, make bad decisions, who does the blame, who's the fault really lie on? Is it the people who's sent out the drones, created the drones, or who the drones landed at? And also, there's a heavy reliance on cloud services, which can raise concerns about data security, availability, and jurisdiction during military operations, which is why you're going to want to have protected devices to mitigate this risk. The thing that we addressed was that while we're doing our research, most studies focus on large-scale military drones, but few of them assess like smaller commercial drones. So these things are they're less flashy, but oftentimes they're still being used by the military. I also do want to note that I think it's called MOTS. MOTS is like military off the shelf. Most of the time, I guess most of the time, I don't really know because I'm not in the military, but people, when these drones are being used, I guess like that firmware is stripped, and then the commercial drones is upgraded with that firmware. But oftentimes this can like not happen. So basically, they're using COTS devices, commercial off the shelf, and this could be a problem. So, yeah, okay. So this is what we did. This picture to our right is our remote controller, the drone, and my laptop. It's back there. We had to set up like an isolated network, and our school had a network that we could use for testing. We set the drone up with a static IP address, just so we don't have to keep figuring out what IP address it had. We set it with static, and then use that for our testing. So the tools that we used Nmap to scan TCP and UDP ports. We used Wireshark to monitor ARP traffic. Nessus to do vulnerability scans, and then we use Kali Linux as our operating system. And then going to the results here were actually pretty interesting. They were contrary to what we hypothesized in the beginning of our research, because the device, it was reachable via ping, so we could ping 172 dot blah blah blah, and we get a reply, we get a response. But then when we run nmap dash p dash or whatever to scan the ports, there were no ports open. We're like, okay, that's a little weird. And then so next we use Nessus. Nessus, I'm sure that most of you guys are aware what Nessus is, but we use Nessus for just to do like a aggressive vulnerability scan on our device. So we did this, and the highest CVSS score that we found was 6.5, which wasn't really that good. So
we're going to have to wrap it up.
Got it. Okay. In conclusion, past incidents have shown that drones can be hacked. So we're going to need to go beyond surface level risks and conduct firmware and hardware analysis to see how we can secure these drones. And that is it. So I just want to say that our research is still ongoing. So if you guys want to be updated with our research or something, you could follow me on LinkedIn. We could connect, and I'd love to update you. Thank you.